What's up, guys? My name is Nick, and I teach boxing. I also work with my friend Becky.
I do not want to hit you in the face.
It has to be fast. And we both wanted to do some independent creative projects, so we challenged each other to do 2 videos. So the one you're watching right now was her idea to do 5 myths that someone who's just starting boxing might think. Let's go. So for me, I started boxing a little too late in life, and because of that, I'm 30 now, and no one wants to bring me to the Olympics because I'm an old man. And so I thought, rather than go the professional route, I'm going to start coaching. And the first thing that was really surprising to me were some of the myths that people came into my class thinking. Myth 1 is, I'm going to get punched in the face.
That's true.
That is true.
Hey, Nick.
Are you going to get punched in the face? Yes and no. That completely depends on you. So if you're going to LA Fitness at 7 a.m. on a Saturday for cardio boxing, you're not going to get punched in the face. If you go to Mayweather's gym, they're probably going to put you on the competitor's route and you're going to learn how to spar. So it's completely up to you. And if you go to a gym where they're telling you you have to fight, you might be in the wrong gym.
So that shouldn't be like a standard for your beginning intro into boxing?
Definitely not. I'd say most classes, they're going to have you go at least 2 weeks before you can even fight. And then the first time you fight, it's just going to be jabs. So that's completely up to you and the coach. What are jabs? A jab is with your dominant hand, your left hand. I'm right-handed, so your front hand, jab. Next myth, equipment. People think they need to come in with Louis Vuitton gloves, Louis Vuitton hand wraps. They're going to come in and they're going to look great, but they're going to sweat all over this and maybe get blood on it. Equipment doesn't really matter. All you need to do, go on Amazon, get yourself some Everlast gloves, get some cheap wraps. As long as they're 180 inches, it doesn't matter. Don't spend money on equipment. What are you doing? Myth number 3. People come into the class, they say, am I going to become a really aggressive person? Becky, you ready for yoga? The truth is that, let's say maybe you're an angry person or maybe you've had a really bad day. If you come to a fighting class and you get on the heavy bag and you start beating that up, you're going to have an outlet for your aggression. So the people who have been fighting consistently are often like the calmest, nicest people you've ever met who don't actually want to get into a fight. Of course, there are Conor McGregor and people like that, but a lot of that is just showy. It's to sell tickets. It's not really how a lot of people are. So I wouldn't worry too much about aggression. I'd say you might be a calmer, more peaceful person if you do it. Myth 4, not being accepted into the boxing community. So I feel like there's kind of a stereotypical thing we think about when we think of a fighter. Maybe someone who comes from a humble beginning, they don't have a whole lot of money, and all they can do is fight in order to make anything of themselves. I'd say that it depends on which group you're talking about. So there is one group of people who are definitely going to put everything they have into this. It doesn't mean that they came from poverty. It doesn't mean they have no other options. Some people are just fighters, and they will win no matter what. And that's awesome. Personally, that's not me. I'm more in the second group of people who just want to learn a sport and get conditioned and get better at something. And then, of course, there's group 3 of people who just kind of like the cardio aspect of it. So they go to cardio boxing classes, cardio kickboxing classes, which is not really about technique. You're going to show up, you're going to do footwork, you're going to do a lot of cardio, you know, it's going to be blaring Rihanna. That's not for me either, but maybe it's for you. So find what it means to you, make that happen. Myth 5, oh my gosh, I've been hitting the head too many times to remember. Myth 5 came from Becky. So Becky said she didn't want to come to a class because she was afraid she was going to bust her hand. And that's a common myth, I get it. As long as you know how to hit, as long as you keep your arms straight, you keep that wrist straight, and you hit on the first 2 knuckles, you're going to hit hard regardless. And you're not going to break your hand. So Becky will be coming to my next boxing class. We're going to show all the footage. She's going to knock somebody out. It's going to be great. Okay, so those are the top 5 like fears and apprehensions that I've heard from people who are just starting boxing. So I hope that clears things up a little bit so that you're a little bit less afraid and you're ready to get started and fight. Becky, you ready for yoga?